ask you one of the things, Carrie, that I think the church does that I want you to unpack. I think that the church sets a false premise on marriage. And by that, it gives false expectation that the church never prepares, particularly, the church never prepares women to be single. So if there are 5 women to every man, and we are not promoting polygamy, we do not embrace lesbianism. We do not believe it's the will of God for you to be married to a man in jail. We tell you cannot date down. So if in the reality, just based off of numbers, the majority of women who are saved, go to the gym, drink their water, have become vegan, read the book of Esther, know when they're not used to burning candles, they still are not going to get married, and we do not preach that gospel. What does that do for women to say, has my church prepared me for a life of being single?
No, it doesn't prepare us for a life of being single. Actually, it does, because it tells us everything to do to remain single. Don't go nowhere, don't do nothing, don't deal with this person, don't do this, don't do that. So I think it really keeps us almost handicapped in a lot of different ways. You have so many, there was an epidemic at one time where women were marrying themselves. They were having their own weddings, just things that are very, very strange. So no, I don't think the church has done a great job of helping us to be wise while we're single, and teaching us how to live life as well while we're single. I think the question also becomes, do I want to be married because I believe that this is God's purpose for my life, or is marriage just something that I want to do? So some people won't be married just because of the numbers, I believe. Some people won't be married because it's not destined and ordained, right? But then there are others that will be. I typically like to think it's 8 billion people in the world. God got somebody somewhere if this is what I'm called to have. And sometimes I think the church gives us a very limited view as to what that looks like. We oftentimes don't know how to engage each other, let alone other men. And so I don't think it's done a great job. It hasn't done a great job of really talking about sexuality and what that looks like for a single woman, let alone a woman who has been married before and is of age. What does that look like after you've been married, after you've been with the man, and now you're single? All y'all got for me is the scripture. All y'all got for me is the Bible. Nobody has anything else to talk about. And so we demonize so many of those things that it's so difficult, I think, oftentimes for us to navigate.
Per capita, Atlanta has more single black women homeowners than any other state in the country. And so I was amazed, put that data aside, when we announced a couple of weeks ago that we were going to start building houses. I go in the back. I was amazed how many of them said, Pastor, I want one, but I'm going to wait till I get married. And that then gave the mark in the sand on what society is teaching and what the sanctuary is doing. And I was really in a chokehold until they shared with us, our partners did, that 700 women had filled out applications to get mortgages in our church. Y'all got to give it 800. Another 100 overnight. So 800 have done it, which said that we're pushing it in the right direction. Well, come on, Luke Vandross, how do I turn that house into a home? When you're there by yourself? How do we celebrate sisters who are single without demonizing, or from the church shouting you're gonna get married? Scream and Boaz is coming. Give $100 seed by this time next year. Here comes the bride. And I want to make sure that the church is not giving a false premise of how it is that we function, how it is that we flow. But you are operating in a dual capacity as a divorcee, as a woman in ministry. How then do you tell women? How do you tell women who are single and saved and striving in Reinvigorate of how do you wait and use your word with honor?
Well, some months I have honor, some months I do not.
Go ahead on. Tell the truth.
It's the truth. We fall down.
Tell the truth.
No, transparently, sometimes I get it right. A lot of times I do not get it right. And I think a part of the problem is we have people that sit up here with a chastity belt on with no emotions, no physical needs, no nothing, that's just telling you, oh, just wait on God. I'm waiting on him, but it's very difficult at times. And a lot of times that waiting is me kicking and screaming, throwing things at the wall. Because the truth is, I never imagined that I would be, 42, 43? I never thought that I would be 43 and single. I just didn't. It wasn't a part of the plan for my life. And I, like so many women, said, oh, let me wait to do this. I want to wait till my husband comes before I do this, before I do that. But I realized so much of it put my life on hold and that I hadn't been living. And so now the way that I live is, listen, take it day by day. Some days are going to be good. Some days may not be as good. I have friends that I text when I'm not having the best day, when I want to return a text message that I know is from the pit of hell, when I want to go someplace that I know is ordained by Satan. Do you hear what I'm saying? SOSs to keep me from making decisions that keep me in terrible cycles. I take it day by day and I trust and believe God for the things that I do desire, because the truth is I believe the word doesn't fail. So I don't want to be churchy, but sometimes you got to also hold on. I don't pay a lot of attention to the numbers, because if you look at the numbers, you will be discouraged, right? So it may be that it's every 5 women to 1 man, but how many out of them 5, and maybe you can answer this, are actually quality? You know what I mean? And so when you sort through what that looks like, everybody thinks their options are great until they start going through the options and realize that it's not as great. So I fail, I get up, I try to do better, but I live my life. I go to dinner by myself, I travel. I like me, so I don't mind spending, I'm an introverted person anyway, so I don't mind spending time alone. But one of the things that I'm going to be more intentional about is I have friends, but most of them are in other places. So I spend a lot of time alone. If I open up to you, it's because you're very, very close to me. So I'm really to myself, but you have to create a village, because that loneliness can consume you and put you in a place of depression, anxiety, and the enemy then comes in to use something that could be healthy. He can turn it against you. So creating a village, having accountability, and people that love on you, that you visit with, I think make the difference. If you do well some days, great. If you fail some days, don't stay in condemnation. Repent, get back up, and go further the next go around.
I think that you're dealing with quality. And nobody wants to deal with the fact that Target has more sales than Neiman's. Or that Neiman's is facing bankruptcy. It has a much higher quality than what Target has to offer. But Target has more traffic. And so Neiman's board of directors is now trying to figure out, can we partner with Saks? Because our quality is not moving. After the CEO a year ago, Kerry says, we don't want poor people.
That's right. That's right.
So because they don't want poor people, all of the quality is staying there on the shelf.
Right.
Tell me what I'm lying
Right.
about.
That's it, sir.
So every day you go to Target, it don't have to be Labor Day, Veterans Day. Every day at Target, there's a sale. Every day you get a good deal at Target. You walk around, y'all ain't got nothing for sale. Really. I mean, as soon as you walk in, it's like a private Montessori school. There's one sales attendant for each person that comes in. In Target, you running down the aisle, can somebody help me? I'm trying to find where the iron is. But finding the solitude of knowing that because I know my quality, I don't need the crowd.
Yeah, so good.
I don't need that level of traffic. I would rather just wait it out until I know that there is somebody that is commensurate and has the taste for what it is that I offer. This old marketing adage is that Rolls-Royce never has a commercial on TV. because the people who drive Rolls Royce don't watch TV. So you have to have the kind of mind that the kind of man I'm looking for is not on TikTok.
Right.
The kind of man that I'm looking for is not scrolling all day on there. Y'all done got quiet. Ain't scrolling all day on Instagram because they're in a different kind of market. And so you got to make decisions. I have a friend. He is very well established, very well educated, very well spoken. And I asked him, man, why are you putting up with this relationship where he's always unhappy, always complaining, always got an issue? And he said to me transparently, because I'd rather deal with my unhappiness than deal with my loneliness. And you got to get to a place of you making that defining moment of am I in it because I don't want to be lonely? Am I in it because I have an overarching fear of starting over? Am I in it because I'd rather go with a bad carburetor than go to a used car lot and start all over again? And so in dealing with the accountability that you dealt with in the opening is knowing what am I turning a blind eye to when I don't have cataracts? Is that I can see that this is not on my intellectual level, it's not on my spiritual level, it's not even in my emotional available level. Is I need somebody who can push me in a different level. Somebody that can pull me in another level. Somebody who can not be intimidated or threatened. So you got to make up in your mind, yes, I want a man who's comfortable with me making more money, but I also don't want a man that sees me as an ATM.
So he gonna be able to do that for grown?
Yes. And so finding out what are my non-negotiables, because if you don't have a non-negotiable, you become a hostage to your own relationship.
Yeah.
I'm saying you all are in here, the teenagers are in another room, so these are grown people in here. I can't stay together because my family like you. I can't stay together because we look good together. I can't stay together because I need somebody to take pictures with in matching pajamas for Christmas. Really, it is what is that defining moment for me, and what at this point in my age, at 40, at 50, at 60, is that I'm not looking for woman fuzzes. I was saying to somebody the other day, at this point in my life, I need somebody I know gonna take me to my doctor's visit.
That's right.
I need somebody who's gonna say to me, you know you ain't supposed to be eating that.
That's it.
So at the younger stage, you need somebody to go to Jamaica with, somebody to go to bed. At this stage in your life, you gotta figure out who's gonna be beside that bed and sleep in that little rolled-out chair in the hospital until you know you okay. If you're not sure with that, then you gotta make some different kinds of decisions to walk with you through.
What's interesting is when you say that, I was watching this interview with a gentleman who was over a nursing home. And one of the things that he highlighted was that when men got sick in the nursing home, children didn't visit, cousins, relatives, friends didn't visit. The only people that came were literally their wives. And hear this, the wife only came, he said you could tell how the husband treated the wife by how often she came and showed up. So it's interesting to hear, that you want somebody that's gonna say,
she better be camped out.
Right, but how did you treat her? How did you treat her though? Because now you done lied and cheated the whole time. I might come once every 6 months. No, I'm joking, but it's really a real thing. I think oftentimes people don't think about, as you're saying at this time, it's not until, also we don't want nobody that's waiting until they can't move. They need somebody to push their wheelchair before they want to get committed, right? You want to get married now that don't nobody else want you. Now that all the things don't work. Now that you tired. We don't want that. That ain't what we want either. Don't wait to the end to have me either. You want me now while I'm vibrant and functioning. You vibrant and functioning as well. I don't want me pushing no wheels. That's on the back end of the relationship. Don't wait to the You gonna wait till you 73 before you get married. What we gonna do? It's still life to live. What's happening? What we gonna do? We got plans. We can't do nothing. I got to roll you around.
We got your pulse. We got it. Yes. Well, the other side of it, let me speak on behalf of the 9 men that are here. The men also don't want you to wait until you completely sold out to God till you come to us.
That is true.
You did all of that in the street. Now that you with us, you want Quaker oats and you don't want to try nothing, you don't want to do nothing, you don't want to experiment nothing. I don't want your mama added to the big boy. Bring me the old you. Now you come to bed with a Toledo on and a prayer cloth. So it's got to be both sides.
Can y'all handle that? Because here it is. When women are sexually free, y'all label us as this, as that for the streets. When we know exactly what we want, sometimes y'all get a little afraid. So can y'all handle what y'all be asking for? So now when I want to be flipped upside down, twisted, I want to hear nothing about it. Can y'all? Is that a fair question? If I'm gonna take the Toledo off,
I need to work some in the eye.
put them on.
I feel put upon. But it is those kinds of conversations that have to really come in that don't happen in the church's premarital program.
Yes.
And we talk about what's your credit score.
Right.
Yes, but I want to know what you like, what you don't like, what is absolutely hands off. All of those things have to be discussed and have to be added. After I went carried through my divorce, out in Baltimore, we had a 7-week premarital counseling for our young people who were getting married. And I always did the last class on what not to do. Because the 6 were on what to do. And the last one was what not to do. And that last class was never on church grounds. Because I needed them to be free. No, really. On what it is that, because we always talk about the successes of marriage, but never the failures of those marriages. But that's a part of what those conversations are. And one of the things that has to happen for people who are getting remarried is that most of the curriculum that churches use is for first-time marriage. And so we use a book or a manual for 24-year-olds.
Yes.
And there is no manual that the church gives on blended families.
Yes.
On what to do with the baby mama, what to do with the in-laws. And you need all of those kind of things because it impacts that you've got these little Negroes running around the house 2 weekends a month who come with a different worldview, who come with a different moral standard, come with a different ethic. You are trying to make the family eat right, and they only eat Chick-fil-A. So you got to add all of that in on how do you add it when you're adding different people into those variables.
Yeah, so good. Have you guys enjoyed this?
Yeah.
So good. So we only have like 3 minutes left.
Yes.
Yes.
What you want to do with it? I'm going to tell this story. It's one of my favorite stories. I was dating this young lady some years ago. A business woman was doing extremely well.
How many years ago?
It was a couple of years ago. And at the time, I was living in Baltimore, and my parents had just retired into Baltimore. So I'm in a restaurant with this young lady who had never met my parents. And she was visiting from New York. And my mother and father walk in. And I saw my heart leave my chest. because I saw my mother see me and her eyes lit up.
Oh.
And I read her lips, come on, John, he over there. And he comes and sits at my table. My mother is Barbara Walters, Oprah Winfrey, and who are you with my son? And she introduces herself. We're going through lunch. And this has got to be around this time of the year. It's around this time of the year.
You having a flashback?
I'm having a flashback. My mother's birthday is
Same as mine.
Halloween.
Same as mine.
And so my father's talking about what we're going to do for your mother this year for her birthday. So we're giving off suggestions on what we're going to do for my mother's birthday. And the young lady says, Dr. Cecilia, when is your birthday? And my mother says, October 31st. So she holds up her hand to give my mother a high five and says, come on, Scorpio.
Not Dr. C, she did.
My mother said, what? She said, your sign is a Scorpio.
No, you about died at
I'm
that day.
dead. Me and Bishop Bryant are dead. She said, my mother's like, my sign is the cross. That's the only sign. And I haven't had the chance to do a debriefing on what to do, but afterwards my mother's just pleading the blood. I mean, I don't remember anything else that happened that day, but the things that we hold as value, the things that we hold as important, the things that are significant, you got to talk about all of those things.
So good.
Because it never even crossed my mind. Even if I knew, let me say to you, even if I knew she was meeting my mother that day, nothing in me would have said, don't bring up a zodiac sign. But you have to do those kind of real deep dive of discussions and articulation to know exactly where the person is and where they are.
Will you guys give a round of applause for Dr. Bryant? Did you enjoy this conversation this morning? Yeah.
Team Gemini!
All right now.
I'm saying this because we extreme today. I want to do this. Would you help me give Pastor Carey an amazing applause for leadership? Has she done an amazing job of stepping in? She had an idea and the vision for doing this Reinvigorate conference and has had 5 numbers breakdowns in the last 4 weeks. And let me thank you. She don't even know how to do it. Let me thank you for bringing down her blood pressure because she died dead. And I'm glad that you trusted God. I want you to please do me a favor. Would you celebrate the God in the sisters that